Welcome back, YouTube. So this is going to be episode 7 of our 10-part series. I'm debating whether or not to add a 11th video, kind of going over a few more tips and tricks when it comes to starting a landscaping business. But anyways, as I promised before, we did Google Ads, and I told you I was going to do the CRM. So here's a video on the CRM. Now the CRM is a client relationship manager. It's a software that's greatly beneficial to your business. I believe so, and it's definitely worth the investment. So what do you see here is called Jobber. So I went on Jobber real quick. I'll put the link in the description. But so Jobber is definitely you have to pay. So as you can see here, I made a quick account using my school email, and then I have like a free trial right here to kind of show you how it works. Now Jobber is great because it's a central hub for everything. You can put in your clients, you can put on their location, their contact information, the quotes that you send out to them, the jobs that you prepared and scheduled. It has all the notes for the jobs. You can put your timesheets on there for your employees. You can put your different employees. You can track your employees. You could everything you can think of when it comes to sending a crew out there. What Jobber also does is it creates a client portal for the client, right? So now your client, when you send out a quote or an invoice or anything in that nature, they can click on it, and then now they have access to their client portal. So when they open the client portal, what they can see is their upcoming appointments. They can see any bills that they owe, and they can also add their card for a automatic credit or debit card transaction. So that is a bit unorthodox in the landscaping field. Now the way I always described it was, do you have Netflix? I'd ask the customer, and they go, well, yeah, I have Netflix. And I would say, well, does Netflix ask you to pay each month, or do you approve it upfront and then Netflix charges your card every month, usually the same day? They go, oh, yeah, well, that's how it works. Well, that is the route I took the landscaping business. I don't want to deal with cash. I don't want to deal with people putting a check out their front door underneath the doormat. I don't want to deal with that. So what I did is everyone that was my client or is my client is automatically put onto automatic credit or automatic debit. So as soon as I get done with the job, and what's great is that Jobber is also on the iPhone, so you can see everything on your phone, schedule, route, the same thing you see in a computer. And then once you get done with that service that you provide, immediately once you get done, you can click completed job, and then it will charge their card, and then you get paid immediately. So also Jobber connects to your bank account, where you can have instant deposits, which is very beneficial because now you have immediate cash flow coming from the work that you produce. You can also put on to, when you send out a quote or an invoice, you can put on the sales tax. You can divvy up whether it's a material cost or supply cost for tax purposes. So real quick, I'm gonna go through it. You went in and you created your Jobber account, right? So you have everything here. So you have your requests, your quotes, your jobs, your invoices. Now real quick, like I showed you in the videos prior, if I go to Battle Buddies, mybattlebuddies.com, and then when I showed you how you put the HTML file in and stuff like that. So here is the Jobber request. As you can see, powered by Jobber, right? So you come on here, and when the person puts in their contact information, it immediately goes right to the Jobber, your CRM, which would be right here. So if I put in my information, it comes up right here as a request. Now you can click that request and go down the line. So you can click the request, you can set up a time to go view the property, make an assessment, and then right here you send out a quote. After the quote, you schedule the job. After you schedule the job, here's your invoice. So it goes right down the list. So you can do a few customizable things, such as your company logo, the client portal that I was speaking about, getting paid with fast invoicing, like I suggested before. Create a winning quote, create a website for your business. So that's the new thing that you can do with Jobbers. You can also create a website through Jobber, but I like doing it externally. So for example, if you worked on the list, you have your schedule here. So when you schedule a job, it comes up right here. So you have your client list. So every time that client sends a request or you make a new client, you can click right here, new client. We'll put in me, right? Patrick B, and we'll put my contact information as, let's say, that's my phone number, and then that's my email. Street address, we'll put this. Allow revisit, put 1100, and then what's nice is it autofills, so we'll do that. All right, so we're gonna save client. Oh, let's put in a real number. All right. So now we got a client right here. So I want to go back to the clients list. It says right here, Patrick B, right? So now say I want to go here and I want to schedule a job. So we can go to more actions. We can go to job. And we'll do, yep. So we're going to click on me. We're going to do lawn. All right. We'll just do mow. So this is job number 1, and then you can put a salesperson on there so you can also track commissions or however your business does the payouts. You can do start date. So this is a one-time off job, but usually for the landscaping gigs, you're going to use reoccurring because it's going to be either weekly or bi-weekly services. So we'll do reoccurring. So it's going to start today, and we're going to mow because it's the first 1 hour schedule at 8 in the morning. So we're going to change this to AM. Right? And then we're going to come here, and it's going to be done at 8:30. Because we'll say this lawn takes us approximately 30 minutes. And we're going to do a custom schedule. And since today is Friday, we're going to do it weekly, every Friday. Now, if it's bi-weekly, you just change this to 2. But weekly, we'll do it every Friday. And then we'll do weekly Friday. There we go. So we'll click that. And then so say how long your contract is. We'll do 6 months per se. Assign a team. So you can create users and you can put anyone else on your team right there. Now this is the beauty about invoicing. So you do per visit. So I like doing per visit because every time you visit, every time you render a service, you get paid. Every time you go to the grocery store, you got to pay before you leave with the merchandise, right? So I like doing the same. You can come right here after each visit is complete, and then you can do get paid automatically. Sit back and watch as the money rolls in. So this, you got to obviously set up Jobber payments. But once you do that, it saves the payment card on file, and then that way there it gets charged. And then this is, obviously I didn't send a quote, so it doesn't know exactly what it's doing. But we're going to do here, we're going to save job, and we're going to create, we're going to text a booking confirmation. So that should send a text to that phone number, right? Perfect. Unlock this. Okay. So I would have to upgrade in order to do that, but you get the gist. Here you can view all your invoices. You can go on the list, see who you've issued invoices to, how much money you're making on the past 30 days, and then who hasn't paid. This is more intricate right here. You can do marketing, so you can learn how to use Jobber as marketing. I wouldn't really worry too much about that. If you focus on Google Ads, then you'll definitely get your marketing. So this is a big one right here. So get more 5-star reviews with reviewer. So these are different plugins that you can add to your Jobber account. Now it is going to cost money, but these 5-star reviews are very helpful. So what you can do is after every single invoice you send out, option to add a review. You want to do Google My Business or even Facebook, but more likely or not Google My Business, and you can get those 5-star reviews up. Different campaigns, websites, and you can go down the list. So here we got apps. And apps you can add, so you can sync this with your QuickBooks, and QuickBooks will be in the next video. You can sync it with DocuSign, and then Gusto is the next subject that I'm going to be talking about here. Here's many other apps that you can use as well. This can kind of streamline different services. You can do all in one text, so it's a lot easier to get the text out. Like, hey, because of rain delay, we had to move your services. You can do deep lawn, which helps you measure out the lawn, so you can get better or more accurate estimate. Integrately, which allows you to automate all these plugins together. Jobber payments, insurance, more reviews. So you have tons of apps that you can choose from. And I highly suggest if you do go with Jobber, you look through these apps. Now there are other CRMs like Yardbook or LMN or LMM, and those are a little bit more advanced. LMM is, but the Yardbooks is not. Yardbooks is pretty bare bones. This is probably the most user friendly and the one that I would advise to just about anyone, just because of the interchangeable nature of this. So now if you come here and you look, you go back home, You can usually up here, you can come to settings, you can go to your different settings, and this is where you can fill everything in. So your company details, your email, your URL, the whole 9 yards. So you made the website, put it in there. You have the GoDaddy email, put it in there. Your address, what time you're open. Then right here you can put in your tax ID number. So at the end of every invoice, they'll be able to see your tax ID number to know that you're not just stealing sales tax from them, but you actually are paying it. After that, you can come here. Jobber payments is the field that's going to get you paid faster. So it tells you obviously they're going to take a little bit of a transaction fee, but this kind of explains in detail what's going on. So then you can also do team organization, so you can manage your team, your work settings, your schedule, and this helps giving like a heads up to the customer what time you're going to arrive. You know, if you want to let them know an hour before, 30 minutes before, or whatnot. And it's perfect for this type of business. I mean, it's designed for landscaping. Then you got route optimization, so you can save on gas and you can finish your jobs quicker. Then this is how you can change around the client portal, what the client sees when you send them out an invoice, and then they get the URL to go to your client portal. So that's Jobber. And if you start off a landscaping business, I highly suggest spend a little bit of money. You could do annual and save like 20% on the charges, and it makes your life way, way easier. And the way I always justified it is, say you could take care of 30 clients on paper, and it was kind of dysfunctional, and you weren't collecting your payments or your accounts payable or accounts receivable. You weren't getting paid up front. Your cash flow is low. You lose money. Now, if you invest I think the highest tier you can get here, which is definitely the best, is around $200 a month, right? Now, if you invest at $200 a month, right, you can probably have about 60 jobs on the schedule, and you can maintain those jobs, and you can keep the jobs accountable, and you can have instant cash flow. So now, let's say each client gives you $2,000 per contract. That is, 63 times 2. So yeah, it'd be about 60,000 more dollars that you can make just with those clients. Now we come here to Gusto online payroll. So this is the next portion of kind of automation for your business. So the reason why you want to do Gusto is because it's probably the cheapest. You can look at ADP, you can look at the payments or the payroll that comes with QuickBooks. That one's kind of tricky. I found Gusto to be the best, and Jobber also works with Gusto. So you can, when you come here to apps, you can click on Gusto. So you can integrate Gusto with your Jobber. That way it knows exactly how much time your employees worked, how much time you worked, and how much money they created in revenue. So a brief overview here. There obviously is a price for this, but it's going to be the cheapest. ADP, if you want to pay yourself weekly, will charge you around $80 every single time you do payroll, and that's no good. But the reason why you want to get a payroll company is because you do want to make yourself a W-2 employee. I highly advise it. I would not advise taking owner's withdrawals because that is still taxable income. So you're taking out the full amount that you made untaxed, and it's getting tracked as your taxable income. And at the end of the year, you're going to probably end up paying 35 to 40% of all that money that you took out. So unless you're really good at budgeting, I don't suggest that. I would suggest making yourself as a W-2 employee and paying yourself a reasonable salary. And that way there, you have a reoccurring income from your business at a set revenue or a set salary base, right? And then at the end of the year or every quarter, you can look back and you can say, okay, we have X amount of dollars left over in profit in the business. So then you can take owner's distributions, which are not taxed. And then that way there you can get a little bit more money for being the owner. But Gusto is pretty simple. Once you go through, you set it up. It's probably gonna be a lot more invasive because you need to give your I-9 information. So you need to prove that you're a U.S. citizen, or here on a work visa or such. And you're also gonna have to go through and fill out a lot of different information about your business, including your EIN number, including your state filing number, including your social security number, your bank details, and all that. So, but I would highly suggest Gusto and Jobber because of how simple it will make your business. It is definitely worth the investment, and I would not want to cheap out in these.